Hello, dear colleagues. My name is Al-Mohammed, and today we have a saccular bifurcation aneurysm of the left middle cerebral artery, which we've treated with permanent stenting and coiling. It was a 67 years old female patient with no neurological deficits. She had 3 incidental aneurysms, 2 aneurysms on the right side, distal ICA and media bifurcation aneurysms are already treated, and today we will treat the left media bifurcation aneurysm. The aneurysm is about 3.6 by 5.3 millimeters. And here we have the list of the materials and devices that we've used. And here we have the 3D angiogram of the left MCA bifurcation aneurysm. This is the 2D angiogram of the aneurysm. Our plan is to implant the microstent from this MCA branch retrogradely and let it end after the first bifurcation, so that we can guarantee a good aneurysm neck stent covering and then go through the stent struts with the microcatheter in the aneurysm sac, and after that we can start to fill it with coils. Unfortunately, we couldn't perform the intervention just like we've planned, and we couldn't go inside the inferior branch because of this very sharp curve. So we've changed the plan a little bit. And here we go. We put the long sheath neuron max with the select penumbra catheter in the short femoral sheath and push it in the aorta. And now we can start to configure the select catheter. And now we have configured it. And now we try to get into the origin of the left common carotid artery with the select catheter. We can inject a little bit contrast agent to see the origin of this artery. And here we are. Now we take the select catheter a bit distally and push the neuron max long sheath along it, and now we are inside the left common carotid artery. And now we make a roadmap to see the origin of the left internal carotid artery, and that's it. And now we need the guide wire to get into the left internal carotid artery. This is the talker. And now we push the guide wire into the ICA. And with the help of that, we can push the select catheter into the ICA, and after that, the neuron max. And now, after we've reached our destination, we can remove the select catheter and the guide wire. And now we take the intermediate catheter and we insert it in the long sheath neuron max. And we can navigate to the distal parts of the left ICA. And we can now make an overview. As you can see, this is the aneurysm. And now we perform a 3D angiography to plan the treatment and to adjust our work position. And here we take the microcatheter Excelsior SL10, which we will use for both stent implantation and coiling. And now we take the micro wire and put it inside the microcatheter. And now we can adjust our work position. We make a roadmap to see the distal parts of the ICA to help us navigate it. And now we need to shape the tip of the microwire. We need a sharp curve to try to navigate the inferior branch of the aneurysm. And now we put the microcatheter with the microwire inside the intermediate catheter. And now we start navigating the distal parts of the ICA, firstly with the microcatheter and microwire, and after that with the intermediate catheter. And now we have reached the MCA with the microcatheter, and now we push the intermediate catheter to put it in the distal parts of the ICA. And now we can adjust our work position and take the maximum zoom to see the aneurysm. Here we can inject a little bit contrast agent to see the anatomy and adjust our work position optimally. And now we can see the media bifurcation aneurysm very well, and we can take this angiogram to make a roadmap and to navigate the aneurysm and the inferior branch of the left MCA. And now, as you can see, we are at the neck of the aneurysm with the microcatheter and microwire. And as you can see, it's a very sharp curve, about 160, 180 grade, and it's very hard to navigate. We're trying to get the origin of this little branch, but as you can see, it's very, very hard. We took many shapes, many curves of the microwire, but we couldn't get into this branch. We could enter the origin of this branch, but we couldn't push the microwire a little bit distally so that we can push the microcatheter along the microwire. Now we're trying again. This is the fourth or fifth shape. Now you can see we're on the origin of the this little branch, but we can't push the microcatheter and we can't push the microwire distally. So we've decided to coil the aneurysm firstly and then try to navigate this little branch after we put a little bit coils in the aneurysm sac. This is the first coil. And as you can see, we have started to coil the aneurysm sac. If you could notice, there is a little bit distance between the coil packet and the wall of the aneurysm. This is an anatomy shift, and we will correct it in the further angiograms. there is an early loop of the coil in the lumen of the upper branch. That's why we will pull the coil and try to coil the aneurysm sac again. And we've removed this coil loop. And here we can see there is no loops in the lumen of the branches. And here we have the second coil. And we continue coiling the aneurysm. We've lost our position. It's not a problem. We can pull the microcatheter a little bit back and try to get it again in the aneurysm sac with the help of the coil. It's not a problem at all. And now we've pushed the second coil into the aneurysm sac, and we will perform an angiogram. And as you can see, everything is clean. And now we will try to navigate the inferior branch of the aneurysm, but it wasn't possible at all. And we don't want to dislocate the coils, so we will let it, and we will push the microcatheter in the aneurysm sac and continue coiling. Here's the third coil. It went with ease in the aneurysm sac. There is a small loop at the origin of the inferior branch of the aneurysm, and that's why we will adjust the position of the coil. We will pull it back and reinsert it. We've lost our position. We will take the microcatheter back, reinsert it with the help of the coil in the aneurysm sac, and continue coiling. Now we take the fourth coil. It's a very, very soft coil, a nano coil. The patient woke up here, and that's why we've stopped coiling and called our colleagues in the anesthesia to check the situation. And as you can see, there is now a coil loop in the lumen of the upper branch, and that's why we've decided to put a stent in this branch. And now we are taking the microcatheter out of the aneurysm sac. And here we have the micro wire. We put it into a microcatheter and push it. And we will navigate the upper branch of the MCA and put the microstent here. And here we have the microstent. The most distal marker is the olive of the pusher of the microstent, and the second and third marker are the markers of the stent. We want to spare the first media bifurcation and implant the stent just along the neck of the aneurysm. And here we have implanted the stent. And now we can pull the microcatheter with the pusher of the stent. And here we have the results of the coiling. As you can see, the aneurysm is coiled and the inferior branch is saved. And here we have an overview at the end. There is no extravasation or occlusions. And here we have a comparison of the aneurysm left before and right after the treatment. And now we can remove our catheters and close the puncture with angioseal. Just like always, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. You can contact us with email too. Email addresses and further contact options are in the video description. Thanks for watching. That was Al Muhammad. See you next time. Peace out.